All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into your Valley News Now digital update. I'm Devin Fry. Busy day, a lot of big headlines to get through today. We have a lot to touch on from the sports world and, of course, our normal crime and public safety stories that we have here on seemingly a daily basis on Valley News Now. But first, let's go ahead and get right into our big moneymaker here at the station, the weather. Obviously today, you see at the corner of your screen right now, 37 degrees, nearly 40. It's not great for our ice desk out there, which you can see in the Olympic zone tonight. You might be able to see some dripping from the ice desk there. Hopefully it stays strong, but for right now, things seem to be doing well. Of course, weather that we've seen today, mild Monday, according to our first alert weather team. Chance for some drizzle and flurries. That mixed precipitation clearing out by midday, which I guess is where we're at right now. I guess I'm kind of just reading things that you already know. Highs reaching the 30s today, like I said, up to 37 degrees right now. But let's go to the experts for what we can expect for our weather coverage coming up tonight. Valley News Live First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Summer Schnellbach joining with the latest on what we need to know.
I'm meteorologist Summer Schnellbach, and maybe not warm enough to be out here for an extended time without a jacket, but it's feeling pretty good. Lots of melting taking place, lots of dripping from the gutters, as temperatures have been in the upper 30s here today. It's a gorgeous day, albeit a cloudy one. It's kind of gloomy out here, but that's not taking away from the nice temperatures. We have had a couple of raindrops and perhaps a flurry later today in the Southern Valley, but if you're looking at the radar on your Valley News Live weather app, not all of that is actually making it down to the surface. We've got a pretty dry layer of air that it's falling through and evaporating. Our next chance of precipitation arrives on Thursday, late Wednesday night into Thursday, and most of that's going to miss us. Most of that is going to remain in the southern Red River Valley, but we can't rule out some isolated wintry mix or a few flakes and flurries into Thursday morning. The rest of this week, temperatures are going to remain well above average. In fact, tomorrow is going to be the coolest day of the week with a forecast from Fargo of 32. The rest of the week, some mid and upper 30s. And then your Valentine's Day weekend, upper 30s to near 40 degrees. So shaping up to be a really nice February forecast. Join us for your extended forecast tonight on Valley News Live.
Thank you so much for that, Summer. Yeah, I'm not going to complain about 40 degrees in February. Maybe I probably should when you look at the long-term effects that might have, but I'm going to go ahead and enjoy it while I can. Let's get into some of the headlines today. The sports world bringing us the biggest headline that we have here in the Fargo area. North Dakota State set to join the FBS level, officially announcing today that they are joining the Mountain West Conference, a long-awaited move for the Bison as their dominance at the FCS level now comes to a close. NDSU announcing it's joining the conference as a football-only affiliate member. For now, we'll see what happens in the future. The Bison will compete at the Football Bowl subdivision level starting this fall, starting very quickly. It's an historic move for a program that's dominated the FCS level for more than a decade now. North Dakota State with 9 national championships since 2011. Now the Bison set to compete against bigger programs with larger budgets and more national TV exposure. NDSU President David Cook calls it a proud moment for the university, as this move means bigger opponents, bigger exposure, and new opportunities, including some future bowl game eligibility. We heard from North Dakota State Athletic Director Matt Larson about this move to the Mountain West.
This isn't a 2 to 3 year decision. This is a decision for the next 20 to 30 years in terms of aligning ourselves with institutions that look a lot like NDSU, continuing to grow our brand nationally, and I think we've certainly accomplished that. This is for Bison Nation, and so really proud to finally bring it home and excited for the future.
I'm also excited for that future. Joining me now to talk a little bit more about what we learned from that press conference today is the woman who was there firsthand, McKenna Wright, of course, bringing us that live feed of the press conference that we had earlier today on Valley News Now. McKenna, obviously exciting times at the university right now. What was the feeling like in that press conference as they announced it's finally happening?
People were there. I thought I was there early. I was there an hour and 20
We talked about
early.
how early to get there before you left. And
yeah, and I thought I was going to be a little overzealous being there like an hour and 20 early. No, I was not. People are so excited about this move, and because the press conference was in the Shack today, basketball was in and out, and the whole entire men's basketball team stayed to listen to the moment for Dr. Cook to say, yes, it's official. We are elevating to the Mountain West level, and there was some applauding going on and lots of chatter. So it was really exciting to be there just to witness it firsthand.
A lot of potential fun coming from this at the FBS level. Obviously for you had one season at the FCS level to cover. Now you get to jump right to the FBS level. What's it mean for you to have these opportunities now for your coverage? We're going to be a little bit selfish here at Valley News Live. What's it mean for you to kind of have even more opportunities? Hawaii's going to be coming to town for a conference game potentially. We don't know what any of the schedule looks like for NDSU in 2026 yet. What does this mean for you?
Well, I was already super fortunate to jump into a place where there's already tons of spotlight, tons of eyes on it at the FCS level, and now you move to a new division, new level where this is what everybody cares about. Some people care more about the college football playoffs than they do the Super Bowl, the NFL.
Yes.
So I was already really fortunate that I got the best team in FCS, and now I'm going to get an FCS powerhouse that's making the jump to FBS, and I think they're going to prove themselves immediately that they belong in the Mountain West. So I feel really fortunate that I get to just jump right in my first years out of graduating college and get to jump to a level that people aspire to be at and work so hard to be at. So I'm not taking any of it for granted. I'm really excited to get to bring not only that coverage to the fans at home, but to just shine more spotlight on this NDSU team, because as much coverage as they get, I don't think they get enough.
Well, now they're going to get more. We talked a little bit about the more exposure aspect of this move. The Mountain West Network exists. They're going to be on games on CBS, the CW, which the Mountain West has these existing deals with. What do you think the players? We heard Coach Polisek mention the players' reaction to it. Do you think they kind of see how big of a deal this is for their program as well?
Well, Coach Polisek mentioned it too, that it kind of took a few days to really sink in, because there's a lot that happens behind the scenes. So I'm sure they knew at least 36 hours ahead of time before the players did. So it took a little bit to sink in. So he had kind of mentioned that, as we keep working through this, he expects the players to really kind of understand, holy crap, we're elevating to FBS now. And I think that's going to be mainly the main chatter coming out of that locker room. And that's what he said, too, is that's what the chatter's been so far as well. Some of the guys had heard the rumors, but until they actually addressed it, he said that the moment that they were able to tell him that it's officially happening, that the locker room just exploded. And he said he wishes he could have had a camera in there, and thinking back, he would have if he could go back and do it. But the excitement he said that he felt from his team was kind of the reason why you do this, why he does this as a coach.
It's a fun conference now looking at it. Hawaii, UNLV is in the same conference as North Dakota State and Wyoming now. It's very fun. Obviously, we might have to work out a trip to Honolulu for you if they have to go there next. But I do want to point out, and this is just kind of bouncing off you. Matt Larson said that the schedule now is kind of the top priority because there is legitimately no schedule for North Dakota State in 2026 right now.
Yeah.
They had to wipe everything with this move. So he mentioned trying to get it together, and I do want to. I took notes on it. I don't have them in front of me, but you can verify if this is true or not. For their non-conference games now, they want a game against a Power 4 team. So that's the Big Ten, the SEC, Big 12, what have you. ACC. There's only 4. It'd be weird if I only mentioned 3. Against another group of 6 team, which includes the Mountain West American Conference and all that, in home and home, one season in the Fargo Dome, one season there, type deal, and then another game against an FCS team. So there's still a chance that we can see those FCS rivalries stick around if they choose to go that way. We don't know who they're going to schedule.
Right, and I would like to see, because it didn't dawn on me about the Dakota Marker game going away until last night when I was driving home. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was my first Dakota Marker game and my last Dakota Marker game I got to cover this season. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was maybe their FCS matchup that they chose to keep, because they said that they love competing in the Missouri Valley, because it has been a really great primer for them heading into FBS. They said that there's no tougher football than Missouri Valley football. So I wouldn't be surprised if they continued to kind of pay homage to where they came from by elevating these other FCS programs by being that FBS matchup for them. So I would like to see it be South Dakota State if it could be, and keep that Dakota Marker rivalry alive.
I know a lot of fans would agree with you there. They want the rivalry game to say. I know there's another good sect of the fans / former players looking at you guys in my group chat. They wouldn't mind the Dakota Marker game never happening again, and North Dakota State just keeping it forever. But we'll see what happens. McKenna, thank you so much for joining us here on the Valley News Now digital desk. Obviously, a lot more coming up tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Tons of coverage throughout all the newscasts tonight. So stay up to date on Valley News Live.
Perfect. We've got you covered. Thank you so much, McKenna.
thank you.
Appreciate your time. We're going to go ahead and get back to our regularly scheduled programming here. Looking at more of the headlines that we have here on Valley News Live, coming through the Valley News Live newsroom as we've been working throughout the day. This one, a court filing, a bizarre incident in South Fargo. West Fargo man is facing a felony charge after allegedly leaving a threatening voicemail at Walmart that included threats to bring a bomb and a weapon, a gun namingly, into the store. 20-year-old Tristan Fitzgerald is charged with terrorizing with a dangerous weapon. According to court documents, Fargo police were called to the Walmart on 55th Avenue South on February 2nd after a manager discovered the threatening voicemail. The voicemail was left on the store's online pickup order phone on January 31st. In the message, the caller threatened to bring a bomb and an AK-47 into the store. Investigators traced the phone number to Fitzgerald, who had placed an online pickup order that day. More court filings from today. This one going up north now. A 27-year-old Grand Forks man faces 2 felony charges after investigators say they found child sexual abuse material in his cloud storage account. Maynor Palacios Arita was arrested February 5th and charged with 2 counts of possession of certain materials prohibited. According to court documents, the North Dakota Bureau of Criminal Investigation received a cyber tip report from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Investigators traced the account to Palacios Arita's phone number. During an interview, Palacios Arita allegedly admitted to possessing pornography involving young minors. Each count carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. Moving over to the Minnesota side of things now, one last mugshot for you here on Valley News Now. A Bagley man is behind bars after he allegedly assaulted and disarmed officers during a traffic stop in Clearwater County. Daniel Johnson is facing charges of disarming a police officer, 4th-degree assault, refusal to submit to a chemical test, and obstructing the legal process. On February 4th, a Clearwater County deputy conducted a traffic stop after noticing Johnson driving erratically. During the arrest, Johnson allegedly became aggressive and pushed himself away from the officers before hitting one of them in the face with a closed fist. Documents say that Johnson then grabbed an officer's taser and used it on the officer's hand. Johnson has 2 previous DUI convictions. Moving to Richland County now, a 21-year-old driver was cited after a crash with a Canadian Pacific train in Richland County on February 6th. The crash happened on 165th Avenue Southeast. The driver was not injured, but was issued a citation for failure to yield the right-of-way. North Dakota Highway Patrol reminds drivers that trains cannot stop quickly and always have the right-of-way. So slow down, look, listen, and wait. That's the message from the North Dakota Highway Patrol. Some North Dakota state employees will be offered early retirement incentives as the state tries to adjust some declining revenues. Joe Morissette, director of the North Dakota Office of Management and Budget, says state agencies have been notified of the plan. Eligible employees will be offered 3 months of wages and benefits. The state relies heavily on oil and gas taxes, and oil prices have declined in recent months. North Dakota is also projected to collect about $130 million less in individual and corporate income taxes due to changes in federal tax law. The early retirement incentive does not apply to K-12 schools or colleges or universities. We are creeping up on Valley News Live at 4 here. It's going to start in about 11 minutes, so be sure to stay tuned. Jessica Bringy anchoring our shows tonight on Valley News Live at 4. That's airing here in about 10 minutes. Let's take a look, though, at the road conditions, as we always do, as you're getting ready to make your way out the door, getting home from work, or even if you're just leaving home for the first time today, wherever you may be watching, we've got you covered. Let's go ahead and pull up these road conditions now. Obviously, not a whole lot to write home about with these lovely weather conditions we have right now. Of course, as the roads begin to melt, one thing to be aware of is it's going to get cold again. And when those slushy roads freeze, that's where the iciness can tend to be a factor. Right now, though, mostly green in our viewing area. Let's take a look at the Fargo, West Fargo Metro here. Green, 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 all the way up until we get up by Grand Forks. Over to the west side of Grand Forks here, we have some I believe that's scattered wet and slushy roads, and then up by Grafton for our viewers in our northern sections of the viewing area, some wet and slushy roads there. Those look like the only issues to contend with, and then of course up by Langdon as well, more scattered wet and slushy roads. So good news for our viewers here in this immediate home base of Fargo. Green roads for right now. Conditions are great. just make sure to watch out for those as they refreeze tonight as we move into the, as you know, things start to melt and then refreeze. It's never fun. I know my driveway becomes a disaster every time that happens. So we're going to go ahead and get out of the way here. Valley News Live at 4 starting in 10 minutes here. Sorry, I'm all over the place today. As you can tell, it's been a little bit busy. That's going to be coming up for you on Valley News Live, whether you're watching it on the TV, on our streaming platforms, wherever you may be watching it, we've got you covered. Valley News Now is also available on for these special reports or these digital updates on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, wherever you may be watching it. We've got you covered. Thank you so much for joining us for this Valley News Now digital update. I'm Devin Fry.